Hispanics in the United States, yo, we've got like no role models whatsoever. I was thinking about that, and yeah, I mean, all the role models that we have, they go back to Latin America, and that's completely different. I guess we have Che, Ernesto Guevara, but even that's edgy material because some people don't like him because of what he did. But I mean, specifically here in the United States, we don't have anybody. I mean, for blacks, they got, oh, heck, they got Martin Luther King, they got Obama now, and we never really had any major Hispanic leaders in this country. The closest thing to a role model we ever had was Cesar Chavez, but I mean, nobody knows what he is, what he did, because it was just more about agricultural workers, farm workers pretty much, than anybody else. So we don't look up to anybody. And I mean, when I was growing up, besides, like, I looked up my history, I looked up Ernesto Guevara and all that. But when I looked for American role models, like, all the people I look up to, like Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, Angela Davis, Huey Newton, they're all black, and there's a dark taint in U.S. history that no Hispanic has ever stood up besides Cesar Chavez and has become a role model. And it's a problem, people talk about, blacks these days don't have role models. I'd say it's even worse for Hispanics because, I mean, we gotta go look back in Latin America for that stuff. And there's a certain divide. I mean, we're all very nationalistic, we're like, yeah, Viva Colombia and all that. But there is a divide, and we live differently than our people do back in Latin America. And we need to, since we don't have any role models, Hispanics growing up, they need to become role models themselves for, like, the kids. Yeah, the kids. They need to set standards for themselves. Like, even, like, like, obviously Hispanics, high school, it's like a huge dropout rate, unacceptable dropout rate as is. And, there's nobody to look up to. And so basically, those of us who make it, we need to become role models for these kids. And I don't see it happening. In my college, I don't, I don't want to talk bad about Hispanics, but it isn't what I expected it to be. I see a lot of, and in the end, you can have good book smarts, whatever, but you can still be a punk or whatever. And I hear plenty of stories in college, in my college and other colleges around the state about, Hispanics, and it's not good, And the good people that are in these colleges, Hispanics, they, like, I feel like they keep to themselves, or they alienate themselves for the most part. Because, in all honesty, the Hispanics that I have the most respect for in my college, I mean, I would chill with everybody. Like, I don't really chill with Hispanics to begin with in my college. But the people, like, I got most respect for, like, they weren't even existent in the Hispanic community. And they just did their own thing, And it was, they live very admirable lives, but it's a division. And, I feel like people who are different, they don't fit the stereotype of Hispanics, they just walk off. I feel like they go off, they're like people who move out of the ghetto, you could say, They go off, they do their own thing, and they don't look back. And I think that's a problem. I feel like we need to go back, and not enough people are doing that. They're just like, yeah, screw it, do my own thing, just care for themselves. And, you gotta help people out. You gotta lend that region out to Hispanics. I got a friend, and I try to help him out whenever he can. He's in a very bad situation because, simply put, He's Dominican. He's overweight. He's got a little accent going on here, and he's straight up ghetto kid. You know, he doesn't. And you know, I try to help him out, but you know, like I feel like I'm the only one. Like all his friends are punks. They don't care what he does with his life. And you know, they just like whatever. It's not my problem. You know, if you care about your friends, you know, you just care about anybody in general. You know, you should tell them when they're screwing up. And not enough people do that. You know, people will be like with my friend, he gets duped all the time by all these people, unnecessary drama, and you know, people just laugh in his face because he's in this situation. And I know they wouldn't do that to my face, because for a number of reasons. And yeah, it's ridiculous that they would view me in a higher light than him, because he's been in a lot more hell than I have. And so I mean, like, even though he's older than me, I try to be a role model to him. And you know, I've tried to introduce him to good people, and it's worked to a certain amount. I mean, like, I don't know, just be a good role model, people. You know, don't screw around, and if you're gonna screw around, make sure nobody sees what you're doing. You know, just be good for the kids, Hispanics. That's all I gotta say.